Hi there, so today I'm going to talk to you about a lentil curry. Absolutely amazing for meal prep. It's one of the things that doesn't take very long, huge amount of flavour, very easy, keeps for a long time, and it's very convenient to cook. And at the same time, if you want to keep it in the fridge or the freezer, it means you can do it anytime. Very versatile, very healthy for the flavour. So I'm going to start you off just by telling you about the basic ingredients that I'm going to be using. First of all, we have something called Ras El Hanout, which is essentially a spice mix. It's a Moroccan spice mix. Garden peas, simple frozen garden peas. We have something called methi, which is essentially a fenugreek leaf. It's a frozen cube, which makes it very easy to get hold of, very easy in the world food section. Comes in a cube. Very similar to spinach. Chopped spinach, very easy to use, doesn't go off, simple in a cube, ready prepared, so you can just pop it in the freezer, take it out of the freezer when you're ready, and that's good to use. We have frozen ginger. Again, frozen ginger is already prepared, it's all in a cube, ready to use in a specific portion, so that's very handy. We have garlic, frozen garlic all in a cube, ready prepared. We have a tube of tomato puree, and we have red lentils, which are just in a bag, dry, which are ready to use. So those are the basic ingredients that I've got which are frozen, and the pantry staple, which is red lentils. I've pre-prepared everything, so all of the ingredients in the list will be at the start of the video. We have our vegetable stock. Vegetable stock just comes in a predetermined cube. A basic vegetable stock cube like so, and that comes in a full pack. Nice and easy to use, just a single one of those to make up your stock. That is as simple as that. A bit of boiling water and that will make your stock. That adds a huge amount of flavour to any dish and is usually the base of most dishes. So we have our stock, measured out the frozen spinach, measure up the frozen peas, measure up the frozen fenugreek leaves. We have the Ras El Hanout, which is a common spice. We have the lentils. We have the onion, red onion, a little bit sweeter and adds a bit of colour. We have tomato puree or tomato paste. This is cumin. Very flavorful spice. And we have 1 cube of garlic and 1 cube of ginger. Now what I like to do is I like to put the ginger and the garlic in the microwave for 30 seconds. That allows everything to soften a bit and makes cooking it a lot easier. Otherwise you have to put it in the pan at the same time as you're trying to defrost, which makes it a little bit tricky. So we just need the saute mode. So that's brown and that acts like a frying pan. So whilst that's coming up to heat, we need a basic oil. So we can use either olive oil or coconut oil, like so. I like to use coconut oil because it tends to be more fitting to this type of dish, and therefore it tends to be better for anything that we're trying to make that's kind of Indian curry style. It adds a little bit of flavour. It's very healthy too. Comes out like so, and that can just go in. At the moment it's a solid because it's cold, but when it heats up it goes to a liquid and will fry like oil. Right, so that is liquid. We also have something called sea salt flakes. Now sea salt flakes, if you want to be a bit more adventurous, have a slight crisp element to them. So they are literally a flake. They're lovely flakes. And they give the dish a slight crunch and add a huge amount of flavour. You can use ordinary table salt, but if you just want to take it up a notch and give it another layer of dimension, you can get salt flakes, which are very nice. This is a sea salt flake, Cornish sea salt. You can get these from your supermarket. They are just listed as salt flakes. As for pepper, we'll be adding a little bit of pepper as well. For garnish, this is called rainbow peppercorns, and these are a little bit more unusual than your regular peppercorns. They're a bit more varied. You've got different colours in there. You've got red, you have allspice, you have the regular black peppercorns, you have white peppercorns. So again, it just adds a little depth and dimension of flavour, which you wouldn't normally get with a regular black pepper like so, which is your kind of regular black peppercorns. So initially we want to just add a bit of pepper. These are our mixed peppercorns. We then want to add some Himalayan salt or Cornish salt flakes. So usually when I'm adding salt, I'll either add Himalayan salt, which is very finely powdered or kind of granulated, or sea salt flakes as such. Depending on what you prefer, you can add either or. So add a few salt flakes into a dish. Now Himalayan salt, to be honest, is probably better if you're cooking beforehand, and the salt flakes are probably better for a garnish afterwards because they add a slight crisp or crunch to your food, although that's going down into the details, it doesn't really matter too much. So what we want to do first is we want to try and fry the onions. So we have the red onions here. The Crockpot Express is up to temperature now, as you can hear, ready to fry. You can hear the beep which says it's ready. We now have the defrosted ginger and garlic. That was 30 seconds in the microwave. Usual microwave temperature, not on defrost, and that will just bring the temperature up and make the garlic ready just to add straight to the pot. So give the onion a little stir, and then in a moment we can add garlic. That's the garlic. Then we have the ginger. And give it a stir now. There's the ingredients mixed together. What I love about this dish is it is generally very simple and very quick, but it does appear to be quite exotic. There are a lot of flavours there, a lot of different ingredients. If you're freezing things, it makes things a lot simpler because you don't have to worry about the spoiling. Generally it's cheaper, so this is a really good budget meal as well. Lentils go a really, really long way. They're really healthy and really convenient, and they store forever so they don't go off. So nothing here really will go off, unlike fresh ingredients, which is what makes them fantastic to store, fantastic to make any time. You can keep them for a long period of time and just make them at your leisure really. You can whip this up, no time at all. So now we're ready to add the spices. We have the cumin. And we have the Berbere spice. Give these a mix. I can smell the aroma already. It'll be really, really flavourful with this. Give that a stir. We now have the tomato puree. So tomato puree and lentils. Once we've given the spice mixture a minute to cook and fry, we then want to add the lentils so they can pick up the flavour. And go the lentils. Give that a stir. Now generally it's all about just mixing and combining all of these ingredients, giving them a slight toasted flavour and changing the texture profile of the ingredients before we go to pressure cook. So here we have the tomato, that's the tomato puree. A little bit left in there so I can use a spatula. Scoop the rest of that out, that's important. Adding flavour. So it's just lightly toasting the lentils, lightly toasting everything in there, spices, tomato puree, just giving the flavour an extra boost. Once we've done that, we now have our stock. We have spinach, frozen, fenugreek leaves, frozen, peas, frozen, so already the great thing about this is we've pretty much got 5 portions of vegetables all in one meal. They do say 5 portions of fruit and veg a day, which is good for your health. if we can have 5 portions of fruit or veg in one meal, that's even better for your health, which is really what makes it a win-win, and the convenience of making it and the cost of making it. We're looking for the most convenient food in the healthiest way possible with the budget in mind. So this is boiling water which was added to the stock cube. Now the stock's ready to add. Making sure all the stock has been removed and the cube is no longer sitting in the bottom of the jug. It tends to be quite a common thing. If you're mixing a stock cube and you don't mix it very well, sometimes you'll get some sediment sat on the bottom, and therefore you pour it out and you end up finding half the flavour still left in the jug, which is quite a common occurrence, so you just need to double check for that. So we have essentially a soup mixture at the moment. The lentils are still dry, we have a lot of liquid in there. What we want to do is add the frozen spinach, the fenugreek leaves, and the peas. Give that a little stir, just for combining. So now we've combined those, we want to switch off the sauté mode. We want to put the lid on, make sure it's lined up, lock it into place, double check the vent to make sure the vent is switched to close, and then we want 6 minutes. If you are in a hurry, you can take it to manual, set your 6 minutes, press the turbo button if you're using the Crockpot Express Turbo. That will then set it to, I believe, 4 minutes, which will make it a little bit quicker. 6 minutes is quick enough as it is. Generally, I'll just leave it on turbo, set it for 6 minutes, wait for the beep. So it's going to begin heating up. Obviously the pressure will come to pressure. It'll then count down for 6 minutes. Once it's counted down for 6 minutes, it just takes a 6-minute cook, then an instant pressure release. So what the instant release is, as soon as it beeps, you can turn the dial, release all of the steam. Alternatively, there is something called a natural pressure release. Now, some dishes require a natural pressure release, which is where once it beeps to say it's ready and to release the pressure, you just leave it. You don't open the valve, you just leave it for 10 minutes to naturally depressurize, and that's called a natural pressure release. Here though, we're using the instant pressure release. So we've got about 1 minute 40 to count down from. This will beep and it'll ask for a depressurize. Meanwhile, obviously counting under 2 minutes, I can start the 2-minute rice. Quick squeeze, and pull open the tab slightly, and that goes in the microwave for 2 minutes. So it's ready to go, 2 minutes. In 1 minute this is going to count down obviously, and it's going to beep, therefore I'm going to have to open everything up and get it ready. But in the meantime, I'm all prepped. There's no real rushing around, to be fair. I just had a chance to clean up, put away all of the washing up. It meant I could get out the plates, it meant I could get out the cutlery. It means that I can get drinks and things sorted as well, so that's all taken care of. All in that time. I don't need to tend to or mind it. The Crockpot Express tends to mind itself, which is fantastic. It really takes all the stress out, makes it very easy to cook, and there's no concerns of overcooking or undercooking because you've got your bite-sized time. So we've got about 35 seconds to go. So that's just beeped to say it's ready, which means that we can now depressurize. This is the instant depressurize, so I can just turn the dial and release the steam. Once again, we can put a towel over the top. This helps with the steam and helps prevent any excess splashing. Not that it's necessary, but it can help. Now the Crockpot Express is finished cooking. It's gone to keep warm. which means that it will keep the dish warm for up to 4 hours, which is a nice feature. If you're obviously in a rush to serve up, you can serve it straight away. But if you're not in a rush and you want to just cook and then do some things and come back to it, or eat at multiple stages, or kind of feed people at different times, then this sort of thing is absolutely perfect because you'll all get the food at exactly the same temperature. That's the rice done. So here we have a portion of rice. So that needs to be poured straight out. And that's just plain whole grain rice, microwave 2-minute whole grain rice. So I can stop this now. This is on the keep warm setting, so I just hit stop and that stops the keep warm process. That switches off the cooker. I can then switch it off at the plug in the wall. Now this should be ready to depressurize. Few more seconds and that should just click unlock. You can lift up the top to speed up the process, which is a handy tip if you're in a hurry or you want to speed up the process ever so slightly. And that click means that it's unlocked, so the lid's ready to remove. Good. So you can just give all the ingredients a stir. Just give them once around. And that is now ready to serve. So here we have lentil curry. Ready to serve. So we have lentils with rice. Now this will normally do anywhere between 2 to 4 to even 5 portions at a push. So as you can see, that's 2 portions served there. There's enough space if you want to add a bread or you want to add extra vegetables or any condiments. Plenty of room on the plate, which means that you can add whatever you want to add should you wish to. But the basic ingredients are your rice and your lentil curry. Now if I show you here, there's still lots and lots there. So this will serve 2 to 5, depending on the size of your portion. Still very, very hot, but very, very tasty, very flavourful, very healthy. You can definitely taste all of the spices in there. Might need to give that a blow to cool it down. Nice touch of texture with peas, spinach, lentils, onions. Really nice, especially for the little amount of effort you have to put in to get the amount of flavour you do, and the amount of health that you can get from that. Obviously 5 portions of veg in one meal is a real win. And as it's very, very cheap per portion, it'll go a long, long way. This is cooking the easy way. Hi, I'm Pete. I hope you've enjoyed this all so far. I've really enjoyed showing you all these tips and tricks. If you are enjoying it and you are finding it useful and helpful, if you would like and subscribe, I can help you share a lot of the things I've learned along the way, some hints, some tips. So feel free to share, feel free to put in the comments and subscribe to 1, your budget is going to be really grateful and thank you. 2, your health is going to be really grateful and thank you. 3, your palate and the other people that are eating meals are also going to be really grateful, because it's going to up your game. 4, you're going to be able to be less stressed, make meals more easily and be more organised, which is going to be a huge time saver and a huge stress relief. This is cooking the easy way, and here I am to show you, for you, to make life easier. I'm Pete, that's me. Hope to see you again soon.